data. Okay, I have a data set that indicate about a bank that how many customers have paid loan timely or not. So what, how we will read this data, how we will load this file into data frame by using the read method. DF variable that will be read to load the data. PD dot read underscore CSV. Read underscore CSV basically method that have to read the data set and location of the file where your data set has been exist. And dot CSV basically CSV is the specific format in which all data will be exist. Okay, basically is a comma separated values, and comma separated value is basically useful in real time because it allow to store the data in a specific format, and that data can be saved into a table structure format. Okay, so in real time all data has been generated in CSV format. Suppose I have a data that is in CSV format. CSV, that means in Excel you can save your data by using the CSV format. You can see now a new variable I have taken here. It's a AF equal to PD dot data frame. That means data has been loaded to that data frame, and that data frame has been converted to AF. DF comma index. Index, that means what index I am going to use here. Index, it represents the labels, because yesterday I have explained that how we can assign any labels to a particular data set. Same here, suppose I have assigned labels to my data that the customer who did not pay the loan, or the customer who paid the loan on time, the customer who did not paid loan on time, and the customer that are defaulter. So when I will print this AF data set, you will see the output of that function. Basically, this is the output of my function, and it is showing the data set. Okay, and I have used here three parameters. You can see loan paid, loan not paid, and defaulter. So that data has been arranged into three data frame. First data frame has been loan paid, second data frame is loan paid, and third data frame is defaulter. Okay, now because you can see only three rows has been printed here, and in my data set I have large data in that data set. So to print all the rows I can use, to print all the rows I can use I'm audible to you all now.
Yes, sir. Audible.
Okay. So now you can see that only first three row has been printed, but I require all the data that should be printed. So I have to use the max rows method. Max rows method, what it will do? It will print all the data set and all the rows that exist into our data set like that. Now you can see that it he is printing all the data rows that exist into our data set. Okay, you can see like that. So it's giving a static also that defaulter there are 60 customers who did not pay a loan, and for other it's also giving statics like that. So it is useful when we have a data set and we know that which kinds of data we have. Actually, this is just a sample data. So it is just a brief description that how we will basically how we will discuss, how we will see that data will be how we will see that data will be printed into according to their statics. Now Add method. Basically, add method is useful in pandas because we have a large data set, right? Now in this large data set, we just require only few specific rows record. Might be from initial or might be from last. That means might be from top or might be from bottom. So add method allowed you to select or to fetch specific rows from the top of the data set. Okay, you can see when I will run this script, it will show only it is only showing only five rows of the from the beginning, right? So head method is useful when we have a data set and we require just from the top data set. Next one is, suppose we require some specific number of rows. Suppose first 15 customer record we required, so we can input any specific value into head method like that. Like now you can see from 0 to 14, it will print all the data. Okay. Next one. Next method is the tail method. Basically, tail method works opposite of head method. Head method basically is used to access the data from there. We can say that bottom. Okay. When we have any item or any data set, then by using tail method, we can access any element from the bottom of the bottom of the data set, like that. By default, it will display last five row from the bottom. By default, if you are not mentioning any number, then it will return only five row like that. You will see. Now you can see in my data set, I have 9,577. This is the last entry in my data set. Okay. So from last to five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only five entries showing here. Suppose you require 15 entry from the bottom. Okay. So just enter the value or specify the value. You will see from the bottom, you will get the only 15 value. Okay. So always tail method will work in a sense that will find or that will recognize value from the bottom. Info method is basically used to get the information about a data set. Suppose I have data set and I want to check out that what are the number of fields that are exist into my data set. So you can see that in my data set there are 14 columns. Okay. Now suppose I just want to give you a brief description of my data set that I am using here. My Excel sheet is visible to you all. Excel sheet is visible to you all or not?
No, sir.
Not sir.
Not yet.
No, sir.
Now it's visible.
Yes.
Now you can see I am using this data set, and this data set first column is credit policy, second column is purpose, third column is initial rate interest rate, fourth column is installment, fee code DTI, days with credit line. Okay, so these all fields are exist into my data set. So when I am using info method, same thing has been demonstrating here by the Python info method also. You can see, and this data has contains basically 14 columns and 9,578 entries. So this is the basically descriptions about our data set. So it's clear to you all that how info method can be useful, how you will use the info method. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the data cleaning. What is the meaning of data cleaning? Basically, data cleaning is not a washing process. It's just a method to remove or to manage the anomalies in the data. What happens? Sometimes we have a data. Okay. In that data, might be possible that data maybe contains some empty fields. Okay. Maybe contains some wrong data in that data that is not in valid format, or data that is null. Any cells that contains null value. So to overcome these issue or to manage these issue, we use the data cleaning concept. First thing is that how we will manage the empty cell. Sometimes what happen if we have empty cell, then we have first method that we by removing all empty cell we can make clean the data. But what the problem in that method, that suppose we have 20 empty cell in my data set. So as per that method, all 20 rows data I have to delete. So you can imagine 20 rows data will be deleted from data set. So it may be affected the actual analysis. You can see I have data set, and in that data set, suppose I have empty cell. So drop any method basically is used to change the original data set and to change the old value into the data set that contains empty value. So you can see old value has been changed, who contains the old empty data. Okay. Now second one is the inserting new value in empty cell. Because this is not a right way, that if you have a data set and only one field did not contains a single value, and you are removing record of whole we can say that rows, or yeah, or whole tuple value into original data set. Okay. So just what we can do, we use fill any method, and I will uh, value of the number or value that I have to define, and in place equal to true. In place equal to true, that means it will make the change into the actual data set and will place all the values that exist into the exist empty into the original data set. Okay. So select this set, and you will see it will replace all the empty value this into our data set. Actually, I have a large data set, so it's very difficult to check that where replacement has been made. So you can do one thing, you can create your own data set, only just 5 rows and 2 or 3 columns. That will be easy useful for you. Just left the some field blanks and then see what will happen. Okay. Next one is replace all empty cell in the whole data frame. Already I have explained. So you can do one thing. You can replace all the data set, whole empty value into the data frame. Just what you have to do, you have to define your attributes name, or you can say that you have to define your column attributes name. According to that data frame or according to that data set, you have to make change. Okay. Suppose you can see by using the info function, I have a data set that I am using. So by using info function, you can see I have a field of installment. Suppose in installment field might be possible there may be some empty value. So I want to change all empty value in the installment field. So what I will do, you can see I have data set and df the value of attributes or the value of columns that I want to change, and the value that I am going to insert is 777 and in place equal to true. When you will print, you will see all the value will be replaced. All the value will be replaced by 777, or we can say all field will be replaced by the 777. Even in that data set, there is no empty value. So if you want to make the actual change, you can create your own data set and can apply these functions. Next one is
Why are
the
we writing read underscore CSV before each step?
before each step. Actually, for demonstrating process, I am taking here. You can do one thing in a program, just you have to write down one time. Actually, I am demonstrating line by line, function by function. So that's the reason I'm writing here every time.
But we defined the data frame using this data earlier only, no? Then
No,
why is it?
I actually it's only just for my demonstration purpose.
No, but this read underscore CSV, uh,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
this
I
command
know.
brings the data
Yeah, this command is
from the
brings the
CSV
data
file.
and in whole program, and it will in whole program data will be available. But for the better demonstration, because
Oh,
because I have to train to some other person who are not too much familiar about the computer science. So to make convenient easiest way, I have just explained with different method.
okay,
Okay. So
okay.
next method is that replace empty cell by using mean or median mode. Okay, mean is that suppose in a data set, actually a college have or a company have opened the vacancy, and they have defined that the candidate who have age 18 to 25 can be applied for the job. So some students have left their age and did not enter their age into their record. So what happened? There are three processes. We can use the mean, that means average of age of all candidates might be possible. We can take 19, we can take 20, we can take 21. Median, we can find the mid number, or mode, we can calculate the mode of that number. So same thing also apply in analysis. If I'm getting any number or any values that is empty, so according to that particular column, I can use the mean or median or mode, and according to that, I can print the value. Can see, suppose I have a data set. I have another data set. It's YouTube. Actually, this data set demonstrate about the YouTube statics. YouTube means there is a data set on which number of users are accessing contents that are available on YouTube. So some users basically are commenting. Some users are using data in randomly way. Some users are just viewing. So you can see how respective. So comment count. This is the comment count field, and in that comment count field, I have taken the mean. Or mean means that the total of the number of values exist in that field. Okay. Next, replace a cell by using the median. We will calculate the median. Same replacement empty cell by using mode. We can find out the modulus with respect to specific column, and according to that, we can change. Okay. It will be made for the specified column, not for the all column at the same time. For individual column, you have to make for every single time, like that. Just want to demonstrate you data set that I'm using here. can see I have a data set here. And that data set basically describe that how number of channels are available on YouTube and which channel have more visibility, which channel have more comments, how much duration has been visited by the which person, and are getting mostly like, dislike count, comment count, all statistics are available here. Okay, so here I am working I am counting here comment count. So comment count I have taken here the mode, and according to that I have replaced the data who exist in empty mode. Now cleaning wrong data. Basically, wrong data is not a data, is a type of data. Sometimes the data that is not in relevant format might be possible. You have entered a date. Suppose some person have entered it, like that. Suppose it's 1 December 1985. Another person have input data in another field, December 1 1986. So you can see that now data format has been changed. So at this in a static or in a circumstances, if we have such kinds of data or such kinds of statics, such kinds of data, then we can use the we can basically clean the wrong data, and according to that data we can make the analysis. Okay, you can see that in my data set I have a published state, and there is some values that are wrongly entered. So by using that data set I can use the cleaning process. Now you can say that the data set that was wrongly entered, now it's replaced by NAT. It's replaced by NAT. Okay, so that was the basically wrongly data. Now removing cell containing wrongly data. First method was the we were trying to remove, but in that circumstances now you can see NAT. That means it's not able to process. Why? Because there is no meanings in the data science. So what will happen? We will remove that particular data. Now second method we are using, that we will remove all the cells that containing wrong data. So you will see here. Now all data has been removed that was entered wrongly. In above set, I had demonstrated that NAT was it was basically cleaned data. Okay, but in next method, all cells has all basically rows has been removed from my data set. Okay, so this is the second method, that instead of cleaning data, you can remove the data, but condition is that it should not be affect your actual analysis, or it should not affect the result that you are going to achieve. Okay, sometimes what happens if you are making any analysis, and after making your whole data has been destruct, or your result has been changed. So at that point it's very critical that you should aware about that if after removing any field your data meaning has been changed, so no need to make the removing, just we have another method that we need to fix it again. So to make the fixing wrong data, we can do one thing. We just fix it by a specific value. We have different method. So by how we will make the fixing, just we will mention the name and the value by which we will fix that data. So you will see in that data set where wrongly data was entered. Now at location 7, it has been replaced by the 45. Okay, so now I have fixed the value, because in earlier data set or earlier reading, what was the resultant here at 7th location, you will see it was showing wrongly input data. So what I have do here, I have fixed that data. Okay.
सर NN का मतलब क्या होता है?
Can you repeat again, because your voice is distracting.
NAN का मतलब क्या होता है सर?
And AN, basically it's a keyword that indicate that is not exist into our data set.
Its full form is not a number.
Yeah, not
Not
a
a
number.
number.
That is not a basic identity, right? Not a number, or is a kinds of data type that cannot be interpreted or undefined or unrepresentable. Okay.
Okay sir.
Now, next thing is that how to check duplicacy into the data set. Suppose I have data
Sir,
set. Yeah, yes.
let's say I have some few null values. So
Okay.
do I have to clean the values manually one by one, or is there another way to
No,
clean?
no. Actually, one by one you have to clean, because if you will mention the range, then whole data will be removed from that data set. Okay.
Okay.
Firstly, you need to check that which rows or which cells contains the data. The by using the removing policy or cleaning policy, you have to clean your data, or you have to fix out it. Next is to check whether any duplicate rows exist into data set. Sometimes what happen, database has been stored number of times or many times, so it can be useful, but it may be possible sometimes that a customer a bank have the customer, might be possible customer has two customer have same name, two customer father have same name, might be address have same name, but date of birth cannot be same. But if in a case they have same, then how we will identify? So at that time, we use the basic super key concept here. Super key, that means any two attributes will be used to eliminate the data in terms of case of duplicacy. You will see. So these are the few items that we can say that that are available, and all items has been printed, and 119, there are 119 rows that has been entered duplicately. Okay, so all rows will be removed, will be count and will be returned to you according to their statistics. Okay, so in that data set I have 119 rows that have duplication in the data. It may be possible a field contains similar data, another field contains dissimilar data. Like that, this like count 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. So this data has the similar strength. Comment count, it's a 1, 1.0, 3.0. So duplicacy is not that only just a very similar record. If two field contains same record, then it will be counted as a duplicate. Now, correlation in Python. Basically, Python has the feature that when we are working on a data set, so to perform the analysis, it basically use the different methodology to find out the relationship between a data. So basically correlation method it provide you the feature by using we can find out the fact about a data. Suppose we have a data set, and in data set two value has been given. One value is age and second value is marks. So it's give a sense that it may be belongs to a student or it may be belongs to a employee that has been appeared for the recruitment. Okay, so this kinds of correlations or association has been used in the data science. There are a number of correlations technique we will use like classification, ensembles, like as a neural networks to process the request. Okay, so if you want to check about the correlations in data, so you can see it's a correlations about the data set that related to each other in a any terms. Okay, so you should have the idea about that, but when we will work on the project, then these functions will be used, that how they are playing their role. Right now, I am demonstrating that how these function works and how these function will be used and how they are useful in Python. Now, next and last library we have Matplotlib. Basically, Matplotlib is a library that is useful to print the result in visualization. Right? Visualization is the method that suppose we have any data set, then by using the Matplotlib method, we can we can demonstrate or we can explain any data, any numerical value according to their according to their visualization form like that. Suppose I have any array, okay, and I want to print it. So by using Matplot library, I can print it, I can demonstrate it, or I can use it. It's simply just you have to import your matplotlib and plot function will be used here, or plot method you have to use. Suppose I have any array and I want to plot that array. So it's a very simple here that I have defined here. I have two basically array and label has been defined to RAM, X and Y. I want to demonstrate or I want to print result in form of visualization. So you will see. Just need to restart. Okay, now screen is visible. You can see here just I have I am printing here. I have a data set. Okay, and I am using here marker. That means lines are there and only data sets I have in two set in X and Y. So for X I have for first array and Y for second array. Okay, I can print this data by using their some specific title name, or we can say that by specific label name, like that. You can see that data has been printed by specific label name, sports data, sports watch data. So any label, if you have to add by using the title method, you can add. Suppose you have to give a specific label. This is XX and this is YX. Right now we have no label, and how we will find out that for which type of data we are demonstrating here, or we are drawing graph here. So if we want to add any label, then by using the X label or Y label method, we can add any label, like that. Now you can see that in my graph, label has been added, like that. It's average plus in Clory Bernays. Okay. Plot.show, basically plot.show method will describe the results on the screen in visualization form. Now changing the font color and font style in graph labels. You can see I have taken here labels calorie burnage and average pulse. Suppose I want to change the colors. Sometimes what happen, you have some labels, and according to your own you want to use color. So just you have to use their font, and in that font you have to define your family. Font, family, what type of family, color and size. So in title, just write down their title and apply the font, which font you want to apply. Suppose font 1 family I want to apply. On X label, plt.x label, which type of family you want to apply, and plt.y label, which type of font you want to apply. plt.plot xy and plt.show. It will show like that. Now you can see my data has been showed, and it's contain different colors combinations as we have defined into our family. So basically, if you want to change any color of any labels, then we need to define their column family, and by using the title and label, we can apply on them directly. Changing the location of title in graph. The title we have taken here is sports watch data. Suppose we want to change it to the left. So just what you have to do, in title function, we have to use just location equal to left. So you will see it will work like that. Now you can see location of the title has been changed and it's moved to left. Suppose you want to it's right, then just you have to change your location equal to right or center. By default it will be in center, but if you want to move according to your requirement, you have to just change the parameter log. Multiple graphs in a subplot. Sometimes what happen, suppose we have different data set, okay? Different data set. We have 2 data set, and each data set have different statistics. So we can plot subplot also. Just what I have to do, I have to use different subplot method to plot a subgraph, like that. You can see in a single graph, we have plotted 2 graphs. So subplot method will be used here. That will indicate that these graph will be that graph will be plot in a single graph. Pie chart. Basically, pie chart is useful, and in many times pie charts is useful when we are analyzes the data of we can say that sales or purchase, because basically 3 factors always count there. A number of how many was the sales ratio, high was the sale purchase ratio, and what was the return order. So if we have number limited parameter, then pie graph can be used. Even it can be used for more, but pie graph is useful when we have to analyze on less parameters, like that. Just what we have to do, suppose we have that data set, So by using the pi function, I can apply that on that method and just will use so to draw the pi. Now you can see this pi, and by default it contains four it contains four elements. How it will define the separation? It will find their value according to the we have assigned. Adding labels to pie chart, we can assign any labels in pie. So same thing there. We just need to define their family labels. In that label, we have apple, banana, cherries, and dates. So in pie method, according to their labels, we have to call the labels. Okay. In labels parameter, just assign to my labels like. So you can see that now these labels has been changed. This pi has been replaced with the label pies or label graph. We can also demonstrate pi by using their angles. Basically, we need to define just two parameter. Start angle. Start angle. What angle we require? Suppose we want to represent any data that is on 60 degree. So start angle will define or will show the characteristics that in which ratio your graph will be demonstrated. You can see it started on the degree 60. So here it will indicate according to their angle. Suppose I am taking here 90. So it will start from okay. Now explore the ways from the pie graph. Sometimes what happen, we are using a graph. We are going to draw a graph. So at that time, what we can do, we can extend or we can slice a specific part from our pie graph like that. Suppose we want demonstrate that banana is no more in our bucket order or in our stock. So by using the explode method, you can demonstrate a specific part about the graph. Now specify a new color for each wedge. Means I have suppose four partition or four element. So for each I can define separate color. Already I have taken in above, but if you want, just you have to do define a column family. In pi method, you have to assign that to the color parameter. Now you will see this pi graph have different color. Simple syntax is there. Define label, then define a column family. First color black, second hot pink, third B for black, and for a code or any user defined color that you want. This is the array. Labels equal to what label we have defined, and colors what color family I have taken. And plt.show method will plot the pie graph. Last one, adding the legend in pie chart with title. Basically, sometimes what happens if I am demonstrating any data by using pi, so some legends may be required. Legends means suppose I require a specific quantity about every fruit. So by using, you can say that according to their colors, legends has been defined into that particular specific field. So the that matplotlib basically provide you various kinds of representations according to our requirement. Okay. So that was all about the matplotlib. There are number of different shapes also available, like as a bar, scatter, pie, histogram. So according to usability, we can also use that. Just what we have to do, we just need to use the representations and method. Okay. Like as to plot line, we have to mention the line style. If you want to plot it in the grid form, we have to use the grid method. So just take a look on bar also and the line. It will make more helpful to you. Okay, so that was all about the basic Python and NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib that will be used full into your project. So any query, any concern if you have, you can ask me. Any question you have any, please? I will share you all the contents that I have demonstrated here, all the practical manual also. So requesting to you all kindly practice on that so that we can start our project. Any question by anyone, please? And about the yesterday session also I have shared all the contents. Any contents you required? Anyone? All of you have got the content, yesterday content?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that was all about the today session. If yet you feel any issue in any library or any concept, you can ask me, you can discuss with me. Okay. So thank you very much
Right,
to
sir.
join this session. We will meet tomorrow on same time with different topic.